Boy, a man in Florida trying to buy weed accidentally texts narcotics captain. And you thought that the time you sent a dick pic to your mother was the worst. A drunk guy on a plane wakes up, pisses everybody, and then goes back to sleep. What is this? Asshole week? Radio host fired over accusations of inappropriately touching Taylor Swift. Yes, it's confirmed. Welcome to Asshole Week. Yo soy Chume Torres and this is El Pulso. Amigos, the presidential election is the only time of the year we like to watch uninteresting rich people yelling at each other in cable television. Besides the Kardashians, of course. This week had a very interesting turn in the boring speedway of democracy.
That is why today I'm suspending my campaign for the presidency of the United States.
Rick Perry's off the race! No mames, doesn't mean that it will be only 18 candidates from the GOP now? Only 18! Just 18 choices, but I like to have a lot. That's the American way. Don't we have 31 flavors of ice cream, 15 different late nights, 540 channels, and even 2 television channels from the same television channel? The former Texas governor who ran and also stepped down in 2012 suspended his presidential career because fundraising has been drying up. While his cash-flush allied Super PAC is preparing to expand its political operation to compensate for campaign shortcomings. Perry, who has struggled to gain traction in his second presidential run, has stopped paying his staff at the national headquarters in Austin, as well as the early caucus and primary states of Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina. Perry's campaign manager, Jeff Miller, told staff last Friday, the day after the first Republican presidential debate, that they will be no longer paid but are free to look for other jobs. Okay, guys, as you know, Perry did awful in this Republican debate. Yeah, we know. Ni modo. Better luck next time. Oh, no. You are all fired now. What? This guy does a shitty job and we get fired? Yeah, pretty much. Just last month, Austin Barber, senior advisor to one of the Super PAC supporting Perry's candidacy, said, "We got plenty of money, that's what I know, and we're going to put some money to use in Iowa to make sure the governor is in the top 3 there. The Super PAC is not gonna get Rick Perry down." Well, Barber was so full of shit last month. Guys, the real situation behind Perry's retreat is the lack of popularity. As said by Barber himself, they were very confident that Perry's performance in their second debate will boost funding and put him ahead on the polls. But all the GOP candidates, not only Perry, face the same enemy: Donald Trump. The thing about Trump is that he is an asshole in terms of political perspective. But who gives a fuck about political perspective? Trump is very strong because he gives the GOP something that America loves the most: popularity. Oh, don't believe me? Ask yourself. Do you know all the names of all the GOP candidates? I know you can say, "Hey, no mames, Chume, there are 19, son un chingo." Then ask again. Can you tell me 19 flavors of Baskin-Robbins ice cream? You see? As a society, let's face it, we no longer care about what anyone has to say anymore. If you say it with enough balls and with the right audience, they'll buy anything.
And yes, as you probably could have guessed by this moment, I have decided in 2020 to run for president.
You get me now? When Perry announced his retreat, all the media ran to Trump to get his statement in Iowa. "Mr. Perry, he's gone. Good luck. He was really nasty to me." You see, we keep giving this dumbass the relevance he's looking for. Just as we do with Kanye, don't you see it? He's getting serious because we ask his views on everything, just to see what kind of shit is gonna come out his mouth this time. Trump has become the Martha Stewart of the Republican Party. With Perry stepping down on the race, we still have a pretty good number of candidates in the GOP coast that are sadly reduced to 2 in terms of relevance. And for the Democratic Party, we only feel we have Hillary and some other male humans we don't give a fuck about, let's be honest. From El Pulso, we certainly hope that as this race gets closer and closer, the voters get smarter and smarter, because if we're still giving the mics to the idiots, there's a pretty good chance we're gonna get used to listen to them. Regresamos. This is the Flash, baby. Well, Republican presidential runner and human piñata of the show, Donald Trump, is back in controversy. And you'll ask, what did he do this time, Chumi? Did he make a sexist comment? Did Fox News make an interview with him and another clown? Yep. Did he piss off a musician? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si. Did George Clooney jump in this wagon of stupidity with a comment about Trump? It's George Clooney, of course he's on board. So, from the Pulso, I'm very pleased to welcome you to the new section, It's Trumplicated. First, Mr. Trump made an effort to use what he thinks is a brain allegedly contained under that terrible hairdo and told Rolling Stone, "Look at that face, would anyone vote for that?" And he was talking about his Republican rival, Carly Fiorina. Hey, we say he made an effort, but later he tried a bit harder and came up saying, "Can you imagine that? The face of our next president? I mean, she's a woman and I'm not supposed to say bad things. But really, Fox, come on, are we serious?" Trump is famous not only for his racism, but also for his sexism. Just remember what he said just after the Republican debate about the moderator, Megyn Kelly. He said she had blood coming out of her eyes. Blood coming out of her whatever. Stay classy, Senor Trumpo. On the second wagon of this train wreck, R.E.M. frontman Michael Stipe said on Twitter, "Go fuck yourselves, the lot of you. You sad, attention-grabbing, power-hungry little men. Do not use our music or my voice for your moronic charade of a campaign." This was after Trump used the song "Is the End of the World as We Know It" during his entrance in a Washington rally. First of all, thank you, Michael Stipe, for saying whatever we're thinking about Trump. But second, Michael, just think about it. This song's perfect. Exactly. Is the end of the world as we know it. This is how we feel every day since Trump began his presidential career. The world's ending. Or at least we want to. But if you ask me, Trump can also use "Sympathy for the Devil" or "I'm an Asshole" by Dennis Leary or "Believe" by Cher. This song has nothing to do here, but I just love it. Do you believe in life after love? And speaking of cringeworthy moments, Trump and former candidate for Vice President of the United States, Sarah Palin, yes, that lady who wants everyone to speak American, did an embarrassing interview in Fox News. Of course, it was Fox News. In the interview, Palin referred to Trump as the Donald and asked him how he got so big and strong. That's the same question I was going to ask, Palin. I've never seen an Oompa Loompa that big before. Trump replied, "You know me, I love the Bible, I'm a Protestant, I'm a Presbyterian. And all this time I've been blaming to the excessive use of hair dye. But now I know whose fault it is. Thanks, Bible." Oh, and the George Clooney thing. He said that Trump is an idiot and intolerant and blah, 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 blah. Who cares, Mr. Clooney? Is it not enough to be charismatic and good looking? Do you need to have a perfect opinion about everything? Can you please stop staring at me with your beautiful eyes and your perfect smile? No? Okay, I don't have a problem with that. Amigos, kicks. There are certain types of kicks. Funny ones if you are Benny Hill. Disturbing if you are Alexander the Large.
Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place.
Really painful if you're Aragorn. Or really painful if you are this guy. Well, this is certainly a story of kicks, but sadly, not the funny ones. Petra Laszlo, a former camera operator for a Hungarian nationalist television channel, got fired after she was filmed kicking 2 children refugees and tripping up a man carrying a child at the border hotspot of Roske in southern Hungary. Let us say no more. Watch this. The camera was shooting. Hundreds of migrants broke through the police cordon. One of them rushed to me and I was scared. Then something snapped me. I thought that I was attacked and I had to protect myself. It's hard to make good decisions at a time when people are in panic. Let's see. You thought you were attacked by an old man carrying a child? Ms. Laszlo's first reaction when the video went viral was as dumb as her actions before. And a Spanish reporter claimed that when he showed her the video, she laughed about it. Guess it was after her boss at the television channel kicked her out of the job that the smile wiped away from her face. Not to mention the smears or the death threats she received worldwide. Hungarian prosecutors said a criminal case for breach of the peace has been opened against Laszlo, which of course was a motivation to ask for forgiveness. I am just an unemployed mother of small children who made the bad decision. I am truly sorry. So, you have small children like those you kicked in the face. Man, you make really bad decisions. Mrs. Laszlo, we know you're unemployed and we're truly sorry about that. Not really. And that's why we've come up with some good ideas for you to make a living out of your skills. There is a world of opportunities out there, like Ronda Rousey's sparring, soccer ball tester, grape stumper, kicker of kids. It has to be a job. And if you are really fun with migrants, and since you're a mother too, you can help tons of Latin American mothers in the US that work all day by taking care of their children. How? Human chancla! We are certainly against violence in any way, but as Mexicans, there is only one thing we can't argue with. Sometimes una nalgada previene mucha pendejada. And this is something you just learned this week. My friends, the treaties. That thing that is awesome if you're a Mexican and you're signing one with NAFTA, the US and Canada. But it's bullshit if you're getting married and after 6 months, you find her fucking the jardinero and you have to give her the truck, the house, and even the Xbox she doesn't give a fuck about. Come on! I was in the final mission of Metal Gear, damn it! Well, this week, there is a treaty that is the bride in the altar of news. All because last week the Democrats blocked a Republican resolution to reject a nuclear agreement with Iran. That's right, the Democrats became your mother giving you permission to go to a party that your father doesn't want you to go. But Chumis, what is all about this nuclear treaty? Did Iran found kryptonite that can beat Superman and we have to start worrying right away? Did Iran give this kryptonite to Lex Luthor, or worst, to Donald Trump? Did they? You have no idea what we're talking about? We know. Here are the top 5 points about the Iran nuclear agreement according to a Mexican YouTube news show. Because there's nothing like Latinos explaining nuclear shit. Let's begin. First, President Obama tries to stop the Iranian intentions of acquiring a nuclear weapon, putting limits to Iran nuclear's program. When he presented this project in a speech to the nation, he said that Iran has agreed to turn its Fordo facility to an international research center. Fordo is the facility where experts have believed that Iran was enriching uranium to make a nuclear bomb, just like Springfield. 2. Iran will keep the nuclear program but only for peace purposes, whatever that means. And they will only be allowed to enrich uranium to no more than 3.67%, which is enough for civilian purposes such as power plants, but much lower than what's needed for a weapon. 3. There are many critics of this deal, like the House Speaker John Boehner, and Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. They believe this is a really bad deal because it doesn't entirely dismantle Iran's nuclear program, and if you're Israel, you don't want the grumpy boy playing with really dangerous toys. 4. If Iran doesn't comply, sanctions can return. The Obama administration said that this deal includes a snapback provision, which means that United Nations sanctions, the most punishing of the bunch, would be slapped back on Iran if they don't meet their obligations. 5. Obama said that this nuclear agreement would give international inspectors 24/7 access to Iranian's facilities. This would end all the speculations about the technology that Iran has for nuclear development. This is great, we just only hope we don't send Inspector Clouseau or Inspector Gadget. Ding, 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 ding. And 5 again, because we said 5 points, Congress has to approve the deal, which means that the deal has to be approved in Congress. That's no big deal. Last week, Republicans tried to block the deal from moving forward, but failed. And we're pretty sure that the debate over the deal will continue. From El Pulso studios located in Mexico City, we will be very alert in this debate because we love to be alive and because we're less than 2,000 miles away from Washington, D.C. Don't nuke us, kids. Continuamos. Amigos, home. That place where you can be without your shirt, without your pants, or any shame of crying out loud. This week was a central subject in the European discussion. As you may know, Syria has become a crossover between the second season of Game of Thrones and any game of Call of Duty. A subdeveloped country with a civil war, lots of gunshots, and a rank holder who is a dickhead. Bashar al-Assad, don't eat us or chase us. Just don't look at us, okay? But those who don't find it that funny are Syrians that have to run away from the place they used to live, grow, and love just because their leader is Lucifer. Well, worried about this matter is the president of Germany, the most powerful woman in the world, and a very disturbing version of Conan O'Brien, Angela Merkel. Merkel, in an extraordinary case of goodwill, has offered 1 million homes for the refugees. Really? That song was a cheap joke, man. Cut that out. Cut that out! I'm sorry, I was telling you. 1 million places. And there are currently 250,000 unprocessed asylum applications. Germany's much criticized immigration ministry says that they are urgently recruiting extra staff. They want to reduce the waiting time for shelter resolution from 5 to 3 months. And we, the scum of the world, El Pulso, could not be more proud. Thank you, German brother. Because meanwhile, Germany is struggling for having 1 million new visitors. Most of Europe is just looking away. Well, I'm so glad to have you in my... Tommy, stop that fire, please. To have you all in my home, and please, Tommy, stop that fire. And I am very satisfied for all those... Tommy, this is not funny, okay? I'm satisfied to... What the fuck, Tommy? Stop that! America and Great Britain still remain without a plan. And the British are even putting barriers to these refugees by making all the paperwork for asylum an odyssey that can take months. Sorry, sir. Good morning. I haven't slept in a few weeks. My family's hungry and we've been traveling through all Europe, escaping from a war that has taken everything we love, and now we don't have anywhere to sleep. Can you give us some help? Of course, all you have to do is sign this 84 forms in bold capital letters, going to the next window, then get back here, then taking the 34 and 56 form to Liverpool, coming back, and from 3 to 4 months we will know. Thank you. Apparently, Germans know what they're doing. Having an aging population and one of the lowest birth rates in the world, its industry has cautiously welcomed refugees, seeing them as a potential boost. That makes sense. But it's still unclear how long it will take to absorb them into workforce, because only 1 out of 10, yes, 1 out of 10, it's immediately employable. Berlin says that the rest will require social support for months and even years to come. By the end of 2015, Germans expect at least 800,000 asylum applications and maybe reach 1 million. Really? This is the time you choose to put the gap. For the moment, the priority is managing the endless human rivers. With Bavaria unable to cope with its own, refugees are being distributed in Germany's 16 regions. A computer system, EASY, can calculate how many people can every region absorb. It uses a Königsberg formula. Yes, the same name of the supercar that 50 Cent's ride and doesn't know why, which weights population and relative wealth. And under this formula, Berlin is asked to take 5% of the new arrivals, but the capital is still struggling between transportation and distribution of everyone. But not everybody in Germany is happy about these new visitors, we understand that. And a lot of pressure from the opposition is going to hit Merkel soon. Also, there has been attacks from neo-Nazi groups, yes, those same groups that Edward Norton and a sidewalk made famous. And nobody can know for sure how much this model could imply. A lot of people see this as Merkel's legacy and a way to find re-election in the next period. Well, we will see if the woman that took the European Union on her shoulders also can take the largest refugee wave in 25 years. And we can only say, Angela, this week we're not worthy. Respect, Germany. Regresamos. Well, that's it for us. My name is Chumel Torres and this has been El Pulso. Your subscription to the channel and thumbs up are greatly appreciated. I'm gone, but before I go, I would like to remind you, like every week, los amo. Estúpido.